Couple work out, no tricks. Put me some weight, I'm high as shit. Run me some weed.
Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. I don't want to waste your time, so I'm going to keep the intro very short and simple, but if you want to learn how to do this effect, make sure to watch the whole video, drop a like and subscribe to the channel with post notifications on, and if you want to go the extra mile to support me, you can use code TARO in the item shop. That being said, let's get straight into the video. Okay guys, so everything you're going to need for this video can be found in the description or the pinned comment. Now if you want to use the same clips and the same song as me, you can go ahead and do so, and that means that you can basically replicate exactly what I've done. I'll even add the rotoscoped clips in there for you, so with the effects on, so you can basically just clone what I've done. If not, you can go ahead and use your own clips, your own song, and just follow along with the tutorial. It's really easy. But yeah, make sure you copy my project settings right here, and this style looks so much better in 24 fps. If you want to use 60 fps, you can go ahead and do so, but I highly recommend sticking with 24. Okay, so the first thing you want to go ahead and do, like you would for any other edit, is just go ahead and mark up the beat drops. Now these are the two main beat drops right here. You also want to make sure that you mark up the subtle beat drops, because here we can add other effects and we can use that to sync the transition. Then you want to go ahead and drag and drop your first clip in, and then just basically sync that up on the beat where the blue damage pops up. And then here we can go ahead and apply our first velocity on the main beat drop. So we're going to go ahead and add a point right here, and then set this to 250. Then we're going to go ahead and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frames to the left and set this to normal velocity. Then we're going to go ahead and go 1 frame to the right from the main beat drop, and about 3/4 in between here and here we're going to go ahead and add another point, put this to 50%, sorry. Then on this line here we're going to set this to a slow fade, so it gradually increases in speed for a nice velocity right there. From the main beat drop you want to go ahead and go 1 frame to the left and split the clip, and then you can go ahead and apply my free preset impact, which looks really good, especially for this type of style. So we just wait for this to load, and we're going to go ahead and apply the Taro 24 fps impact, and you can find this in the Google Drive below, like I said. And then on the smaller, more subtle beat shakes, what you'll see a lot of people doing with this style is apply this sort of red frame, sort of, it's not really a beat shake, but you'll know what I mean. As you can see, it just makes the screen a bit red like so, and then you can go ahead and apply the same thing on the other part as well. So just wait for this to load, and then you want to go ahead and apply that like that. So obviously the main part of this video is the transition. What you want to go ahead and do is drag this across, so the impact's been there for long enough, and then we're going to go ahead and add our second clip in, and then you want to go ahead and firstly sync this up with the beat drop. So around here we're going to split the clip, find our second beat drop, which should be around here. Here it is, and then we're going to go ahead and just drag this all the way across for now, and then we can just go ahead and sync this up. Go ahead and just do what we did before by adding a point on the main beat drop, set this to 250%. Then if you do miss it by a bit, you can drag it across and add it again. Then we're going to go ahead and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frames across, and then go ahead and set this to normal velocity. And then you want to go ahead, go back to the main beat drop, go 1 to the right, and then put this to 50, about 3/4 in, set this to a slow fade. Then you basically want to go ahead and split the clips where you want to add your red screen effects. So what you can do is actually just copy and paste event attributes from the previous times that you applied it, like so. And then we can go to where we're going to add the transition. Okay, so as you can see, this is the first frame that's going to be where the clip is fully zoomed in, and then this is where we're going to be adding the transition. Now what I recommend is the first impact is going to be 9 frames long. That's my recommended amount. So you want to go from the start of the impact and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, drag this across, and then extend this one out. And then you want to go ahead and start the next clip at 50% forward velocity, and then right at the end it should be at 100%. So drag this keyframe across, and then set this to normal velocity, which is 100%. Make sure that is near enough around the end, and that is at 100%. Then you can set this to a slow fade as well, and as you can see, we're going to get our velocity into the regular amount where we had that first frame. So now what you want to go ahead and do is render out this exact section right here. So from the start, from where the impact ends into here, render this out, and we're going to go ahead and add this into After Effects and do our magic. Okay, so once you're in After Effects, you basically want to go ahead and create a new composition. You can do this by going to composition and creating a new one. You guys will say comp 1, but I've already actually done this effect in here already, so it's going to be comp 3. Go ahead and drag and drop your rendered out version of the clip. So as you can see, it's right here. and then we're going to go ahead and rotoscope the skin out. So in order to go ahead and do this, you just want to go ahead and go to the roto brush tool, double click on your clip, and then you basically want to go ahead and go around the character and progressively do this. And this should be quite easy because the character will usually stand out against the builds because they're all white or blue, and as you can see the character has a bold outline, so it's very easy for After Effects to rotoscope it out. If it does miss a little bit like this, hold Alt until this goes red, then click over it, and then you can basically fix it yourself like so until it goes roughly around that character again. And then basically you want to go ahead and do this for every single frame, and once you've gone ahead and done that, don't worry, it won't take too long. I'll show you what to do next. Okay, so once you've gone ahead and rotoscope out your clip, you then want to make sure that you go onto the effects section of this clip, and then on the roto brush and refine edge, make sure that you have the invert foreground and background on, and then you can go ahead and add this overlay which I've linked in description with everything else. Add that below and apply the preset, or if you don't want to bother downloading the preset, all you have to do is add BCC velocity remap and set the velocity to 200, then go into hue, saturation and brightness, and then make the saturation 4 and the brightness a little bit lower than default. Once you've gone ahead and done that, you basically want to go ahead and render this out. To render it, all you need to do is drag this bit on the top to how much you're rendering, go to File, Export, Add to Render Queue, then go to Lossless, change this to RGB and Alpha, hit OK, and then render it out. And when it starts rendering, you'll see that the overlay will be underneath the skin, just how you want it. And I'm just going to pause it because I've already rendered it out. Okay, so once you've gone ahead and rendered out that version, you want to create a new composition, just like how we did before. Make sure the composition settings are on 24 FPS. If you don't know, right click on the comp, then go to composition settings and make sure it's on 24 like so. Then go ahead and add the rendered in version of your effect, and it should look like this. And then we can go ahead and rotoscope out this section here, so it's just the builds. That's all we want to include in this transition, just the builds and the skin. So in order to do this, what you want to go ahead and do is do the rotoscope tool again, and trust me, this one is the easiest part to rotoscope. It will probably take like 2 minutes maximum. Double click on your clip, and then it's going to be weird, but you basically want to rotoscope out this section here. So as you can see, you can just draw lines across, and it does it pretty much automatically for you. It's so easy. That is it, they're done. And all you need to go ahead and do is make sure that you invert the foreground and background. Now yes, it will look like this at the start, don't worry. Basically you can turn that off, rotoscope it all out, and then apply that at the end, and then export it. Once you've gone ahead and done that, we can hop back into Vegas. So yeah, just do this for every single individual frame. As you can see, it will do a decent job at auto detecting it for each frame, so you won't have to do too much work. Like so, there's really not much to do here, you just need to fill in these edges. But yeah, once you've gone ahead and done that, rendered it out like we did before, go back into Vegas. Okay, so you want to go ahead and add the final After Effects version of the clip into here, and add this directly on top of the original clip in Vegas. Then you want to go ahead and to remove the background, go onto Properties, go to Media, and put this onto Pre-Multiplied Dirty, hit OK. And then we're going to go ahead and apply the regular zoom in preset, which is going to be in the Google Drive as well. But firstly, make sure you have 3 layers above the original one, and drag this one all the way to the top, and then hold Control and drag below. Then on the original one, or which is the top one, go ahead and add your zoom in. And then we're going to go ahead and apply a different preset on the ones below. So in the middle one, we're going to go ahead and now apply the Tarot, let me just get up for you, the Tarot Transition Neeqs, and then make sure this is the second layer. So go ahead and hit OK. And then as you can see, we're going to have the nice red sort of stuff right there. Then you can go ahead and copy and paste event attributes below onto the one below. So go ahead and do that there. And it's going to be the same thing. However, you want to go back to the start of the clip, go to the third blur mode curves, and then set the shift Y to -122, and then set the shift X to -0.122, and the shift Y to -0.012. Sorry, there we go. And as you can see, you're going to have the nice sort of shift in, and it will all merge together at the end of the clip like so. Then on the clip below, you want to fade the original impact in about 0.08 in, and that will just mean that the transition will slowly build up. So as you can see, this will slowly change in the background. Then we're just going to go ahead and apply another singular effect, which is going to be Taro's cartoon look. You can go ahead and copy all of my settings here. There is quite a lot to change, but as long as it roughly looks like this, you're good to go. And as you can see, it's right there. And then we're going to go ahead and go on to the main part where the transition finishes, and just add any sort of beat shake. Mine's in my pack. This is my one from my pack, but yeah, you can use any old beat shake. And yeah, finally go one frame to the left of the final kill and just apply that same impact that we used on the original one. You can even go and copy and paste event attributes like so, and yep, that is basically everything done. Now finally, you can go ahead and add your color corrections. When you're doing so, make sure to apply on all of these layers, because you do also have these clips here, and then your sound effects of choice, and that is basically how to do this whole tutorial, and the video is done. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you did enjoy, please go ahead and drop a like. This video took absolutely ages to make, and it was an absolute pain to make. Sorry if it wasn't explained the best, but I really hope you did get this, and if not, if you didn't get the whole thing, at least you got a little bit of it to help you get better at editing, because that is the goal of these videos. If you do want to support me, you can go ahead and check out my editing pack, link in description. I highly recommend it. It's got all these presets and more, so yeah, I just can't recommend it anymore for you guys. And yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Make sure to comment what tutorial you want next. Peace.
Keep me on the block, baby, what keep me on the block, baby, bitch. 32 shot Glock, baby, with 32 shot Glock, baby.